Hey everybody, I just wanted to share some stuff I got today. I had kind of a crazy day today in regards to vinyl. It's not that I picked up a whole lot of interesting stuff, but I had sort of like an OCD day, I guess you would say. I don't want to make light of that. I know we kind of joke, about how we are borderline obsessive compulsive, and as Mr. Hoffname said, yeah, can't remember what exactly did you say. That we're organized hoarders, which is actually sort of an interesting way of putting it. But what I'm getting at is that I had sort of a strange day that I went to a suburb in my area and there's a Goodwill there that I've been to several times, and every time I've gone there, they've had really good stuff, and so I was kind of excited about going. And I went in, and it was a really nice score. There was, I don't know, maybe I picked up about a dozen or so records there, which is for Goodwill, it's a big day. And again, it's nothing that's completely crazy out of the ordinary, but for Goodwill it is. So I was pretty excited. And then I happened to get a response from a Craigslist ad of somebody local that was selling their collection and selling them off for a couple bucks a piece. And so, whenever you answer ads like that, which I've done a few times, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see junk. But, and I'm actually sort of not really crazy about going towards private sales like that, because I don't know why, I feel like a little bit of uncomfortable. I just feel like a little bit of a pressure, because you don't really have that much time to really examine the records, and you're kind of talking to get to know the person. And I've found sometimes I've walked away with records at private sales and thought that maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. Anyway, today was definitely sort of one of those days where I just kind of splurged unnecessarily. I mean, it wasn't like I spent a ton of money, but I might have bought 50 records today. Again, we're talking about in the range of $1 to $3 a piece. So, but I think I'm going to have to sort of change my habits a little bit, because I don't mind amassing the collection, that's fine, but I think I need to sort of start concentrating my purchases as opposed to just going out and buying 20 records at a time or whatever. So anyway, I'll go through these pretty quick. Most of them are very popular artists, but just stuff that I didn't have in my collection. So but I got them at great prices, so that's everything said. I'm happy with what happened today. So the first one is Dark Side of the Moon. It's cut out, but the record itself looks like it's in mint condition, so I was pretty happy about that. Another Pink Floyd final cut. It's bent there, as you can see, but the record looks great. This one's a little bit. This is Pink Floyd's Metal. You can see it's fair condition. I don't think there's any seam splitting or anything, and the record looks like it's probably a decent playable condition, but I think I got it for $2 or $3, so I figured I'd pick that up. These are kind of mixed up here. Here's another one I got at this the sale. It's the Rolling Stones Through the Past Darkly collection of songs. The cool kind of stop sign shape. So let's see. This is one that I picked up purely from the cover. I got this at a Goodwill for like 99 cents. And it's just from the name and the kind of look of the guy, and that it's like 6 tracks, each called Oxygen 1 through 6. I was pretty much figuring that what I was getting into was probably some sort of 70s new age or progressive new age or whatever you want to call it. And actually I was pretty much spot on. Some of you may actually know who this is. I wasn't familiar until I got home and looked his name up on AllMusic, and I guess he was pretty famous within those circles, I guess. But I sort of like the 70s, sort of the early instrumental stuff with the early synthesizers and that sort of thing. So it's kind of cool. I guess from what I've heard of Tangerine Dream, it's probably a little bit like that. This is one I've seen a lot, and I finally ended up picking it up. It's the Bears. It's got Adrian Belew, who is most known for being in King Crimson. Sorry, but he's done a lot of stuff on his own, and I'm sure in other projects as well. But I always heard this referenced as being sort of a pop album, like as in like power pop, and I can see how that would appeal to people who like power pop. But I don't know exactly where you'd pinpoint this. It's just really smart guitar pop from the 80s. I think it came out in about 86 or 87. And so I would say if you're a fan, I don't know if you're a fan of the Talking Heads, and it's not quite as new wavy as Talking Heads, but like it's like sort of a more guitar driven, sort of more straight ahead Talking Heads or XTC or that sort of stuff. I can't really put it in words, so it's just really, really well crafted guitar rock. Speaking of XTC, I actually got about 2 or 3 at the Goodwill today. English Settlement. I actually had a copy of this, and I don't know if you can see side to side. It's kind of a lighter green. I have to admit I'm not an expert on the labels, particularly the major labels, but one was Epic and one was how was it? One's Epic and one's Geffen, and the darker green actually is a double album, which I guess is the stuff that's probably on the CD, which I have. So this has actually got 2 records, and so there are more tracks, and this one is in just pretty decent shape. This one's in mint condition. I was just really happy. I'm a huge XTC fan, and so I played this, a little bit of it today, and cranked it up, and there's no noise. I was just, for $2, I was just so happy I found that. See if I can find the other XTC I got today. I got Mummer. I think this was from about 83 or 84. And then the last XTC I got today was the Big Express. I already had a couple other XTC on vinyl, so I'm well on my way towards completing my XTC collection. A couple more sort of the common alternative stuff I got. Picked up the classic REM debut, Murmur. Just a sort of small comment. A lot of people sort of point to this as, I mean, I guess it was groundbreaking in the sense of, it was a debut and when it came out and what they were doing. But as far as in reference to this in comparison to other REM albums, it's probably not even in my top 2 or 3. And I know a lot of people, especially hardcore fans, are just this is what it's all about. But for me, it's like Document, Life's Rich Pageant, which is the other one I got today. That sort of mid-era of REM, and Automatic for People. Those are probably my favorite REM albums. This next one I got, I'd never seen in my life. It's a soundtrack that The Edge did from U2 for a movie called Captive, which I've never even heard of the movie. Forgive me if it's a fairly well-known movie. I watch lots of movies, but I've never actually heard of this. And it actually has Sinead O'Connor guesting on vocals. So you can see them on the bottom there. So I'm sort of interested in hearing what that sounds like. The last one I've got is a solo album by Steve Kilbey, Unearthed, from The Church, another band that I'm really a big fan of, and I don't think I've ever heard any of his solo stuff. I actually kind of hesitated on this album a while back on eBay, and there was a sealed copy for I don't know, $5, and I kind of procrastinated and it got scooped up by somebody else, and I got this one for about the same price. So there you go. So that's it. I mean, I had a bunch of other records. I got some Beatles stuff and a few other things, but I figured I'd just sort of highlight some of the stuff there. So anyway, see you next time.